Common sense and blade manufacturers say that this blade height is about right, maybe a little higher or maybe just a little bit lower. But there are some that think raising the blade as high as you can is a good way to help prevent kickbacks. And they couldn't be more wrong. Okay, maybe if they tried real hard. With the blade set at a normal height, the teeth are coming up out of the table and going back down into it about 6 inches apart. Raise that same blade as high as you can, as this theory often prescribes, and we move those points much farther apart. The teeth are coming almost straight up out of the table and going almost straight down back into it, but now they're doing it 9 inches apart, which gives them more leverage. The teeth at the front will be pushing down on the wood, but the teeth at the back will be pushing up on the wood, and that's where the kickbacks usually start. This is the actual piece of wood that I managed to shoot at myself in my only major kickback. I had the blade at the right height, but as the piece got towards the back end of the blade, it turned in slightly, the blade caught it. Before I could react, the wood was gone and I'd already been hit. And this is the track that shows us exactly what happened. When the piece first began to turn, the blade was taking a nearly full-depth cut. As the piece turned and accelerated, the depth of cut went down to almost nothing. If I'd have had the blade raised up, the kickback would have happened about the same way, except that it would have hit me higher than on the bottom rib as happened in my kickback. I was mad at myself after my kickback, but it could have been a bunch worse. The best way to prevent a kickback is to be smart and use things like a riving knife that help prevent the wood from turning into the blade in the first place. I'd never push a piece through my saw by hand. I nearly always use a good push handle. Of course, if you don't want to live dangerously, just use the whole guard system that came with your saw. And if that isn't possible, use a riving knife if your saw came with one. It's not hard to understand why people that use a push handle and a blade guard system don't often make one of these. Raising a blade way up just doesn't make any sense. More importantly, it's not going to make you any safer.